So if you want to say hi, introduce yourself and how you ended up on our Zoom call, if you're friends of Mathis or found out about us or other means, let us know. So anybody want to start? Paulette, how about you?
Yeah, thanks. So I'm Gordon Purdy. I dive with most of you there. Joy being with you this evening.
Hi, Gordon.
Hi, Tina. How you doing?
I'm Tina, Jesse's sister. I'm in
Yeah,
Florida.
Okay, nice to meet you, Tina. And Cindy, do I know you? Do we know you?
Cindy is the president of Lunar Fins.
Okay, I thought the name was familiar. That's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, I don't see anybody there, so I wasn't sure. And
hi, I've got it connected to my TV, so I don't know the video.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I was just checking. And how about Hillary?
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Great.
Good.
I'm on your Facebook page because, now it's like maybe 3 years ago, we were diving in Bonaire and we got stuck on a boat with a whole bunch of people with really big cameras.
Oh, no.
So we kind of got to know I'm on the Facebook page with a couple of you guys.
Great.
Also members of the Dive Pirates, which maybe some of you know of them. They're in Houston. We're actually from the Boston area.
Okay.
So we obviously I don't participate in your meetings, but when I saw that there was a presentation tonight, I thought that might be really cool.
Oh, wow.
Well, great.
We're glad you showed up for us.
Well, thanks. I'm probably I've got it up on my TV too, and my husband's sitting in the background, so we're gonna probably knock off the video and sit back and enjoy the show.
Sure. All right.
Hey, and Shannon, I'm glad to actually see you. I've seen a lot of you, but never have met you.
Yes, likewise.
I'm Carl Bergman. I met Jesse on the Sierra Niue in Fiji about 1996. And we've been diving together ever since and met Jan and Gordy and Dennis and the Beasleys, a whole group of you Houston guys. I'm just thankful you're still diving because all my dive buddies up here in Cincinnati are retired.
It's too cold up there. Okay.
How about the cold that drove them away?
Yeah. Anybody else want to introduce themselves?
We got Dan and Michelle. We got new people.
What happened to
showing
Mark?
up.
He was on here earlier.
I see Michelle Winkles there. She's muted, but hi, Michelle. Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot.
She's the Wakatobi representative.
Oh, unmuted.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, my cam's not working. Thanks for having me, guys. Miss you. I'm in Florida now.
Well, we're glad to see at least your name.
I wish I was in Wakatobi, and I'm looking forward to your presentation, Mathis.
All right.
All right, well, good. And Dan, I saw you trying to speak up.
No, I just want to say hi.
Hi.
Hello, and welcome. And how about Mark?
I'm Mark Natris. I met Jesse, I'm going to say 7, 8 years ago on a trip and went on a bunch of dives with all those guys, and having a great time with these guys.
All right, well, really good. Well, if I missed anybody, I'm sorry, but I just want to say welcome, everybody. And basically, I think since April or May, we've been doing our meetings via Zoom, and we probably will do for a few more months. So, if you enjoy it tonight, feel free to tune in next month for our next meeting. I think it's January 5th. And the links and everything should be on our Facebook page. And speaking of that, Tom, do you want to give a little plug for the January meeting?
Well, sure. We're going to have Anything Goes video night, little clips from everybody. And so this is another call, last call. If anybody has any little video clips, send them to me, let me know, and we'll get in touch and make the connection.
Tom, why don't you tell them a little bit more
closer
about
to
it?
your phone.
Do what?
Get a little closer to your microphone.
Oh.
Just
Tom, tell them a little bit more about it.
Okay, so we started this there'll be 3 years ago when we were trying to introduce video and get more video going in the club. And so anybody that had little clips, just a couple of seconds, 30 seconds, no more than 3 minutes, let me have them, and we put them all together in a composite, and we have a Anything Goes meeting where I present everybody's videos. And it's been fun. there's no experts in this, and so it's kind of fun to see everybody's little clips. Does anybody have any more? I've gotten some already. I haven't got enough yet.
I'll try to dig through and see what I got.
David, I don't think you have any video.
I have a little. You'd be surprised.
Okay, well, good. Send it to us. All right. Well, anyway, that'd be next month.
All right. Well, real good. Russell, did you want to? I know you sent out a little email about the British Virgin Islands trip. Do you want to just give a brief update on that?
Yeah, I basically have canceled that May 2021 trip because of the quarantines and the BVI, and because of the vaccination. I don't know when they're going to come out. I have suggested October of 2021 or May of 2022 to everybody. I've heard from 5 people that were originally on the trip, and they do want to go. And they said, most of them said either one. They would prefer the 3 of them said October, but they didn't care. They would like to go back again. So if anybody's interested in going to the BVI with HUPS in October of 21 or May of 22, let me know.
Wow.
I'll try and set it up. I've already let the BVI know that we are not coming in May of 2021 because of the uncertainty of everything. And I know they're okay with it.
All right, real good. Thank you, Russell. Betsy, do you have anything, like maybe mention when the next HUPS video contest is?
Okay. The next video contest will be May. You have to send your films in by May 1st, and we'll show all the films at the June meeting. But, you know, I'll let everybody know by email and on Facebook. You know, I'll remind everybody about that because we have a few months to go before that happens. On the HUF, just want to remind everybody that the 2020 HUF that we were not able to hold in April of 2020 is now scheduled for April 17th and 18th of 2021. And for those of you who are in our Zoom meetings, we have, HUPS has a film festival, an underwater film festival called the Houston Underwater Film Festival. And we had to postpone it this year because it was supposed to take place in April and the theater closed and we couldn't do it. So we're now rescheduled for April 17th and 18th of 2021.
We hope.
And that might not work.
Well, we'll see.
We're still like kind of up in the air. Nobody knows what's the real story with the vaccine.
Fingers crossed.
And remember when it first got shut down, we talked about just rescheduling for sometime in May. You remember that?
Yeah, then we rescheduled for October.
Yeah.
Remember that? And then we rescheduled again, so.
All right, well, real good.
You gotta be optimistic, okay?
Yeah, we got our fingers crossed. Anybody else have any announcements they need to share?
Well,
I have just one, if you don't mind.
Go ahead,
next year, I'm already starting to think about filling the program slots for our presentations on our monthly meetings. And I've got about 3 or 4 pretty much already signed up for early on. But I'm also looking at doing one that I want to do as sort of a general open 3 to 5 minute presentations from a group of people, anybody that wants to send something. And I'm going to call it Off the Beaten Track, or My Most Unusual Experience. People will send us things that are a little bit unusual, maybe places that hardly anybody has been, or experiences that were unusual. So if you have something, let me know. I'd like to have it. It can be any format, slideshow, films, get on and just talk, whatever.
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, David, I've got,
sure,
can I just say a couple of quick things about the, sanctuary, the Flower Garden Bank
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, just to let everybody know the latest on what's going on there. We had a meeting last month. John Armour, who is over all 14 National Marine Sanctuaries, was in the meeting. And he indicated that the expansion, which I've talked about and Frank as well for the last couple of years, adding 14 additional banks to the 3 current protected banks, that will be pretty much done in mid-January. And when I say pretty much done, it means it'll be the final environmental impact statement will be published in the Federal Register. Then there'll be about a 60-day time period that Congress could, you know, and I doubt this would happen, could do a thumbs down on it. The other thing I wanted to mention, so anyway, that looks good. That looks really good. The other thing I wanted to mention is July of 2021 will be the end. I'll be term limited as the representative for recreational diving on the SAC. It'll be 8 years that I've done it. And so I'm term limited. I'm happy. I'm good with that. 8 years is plenty enough time to do what I was doing. So there'll be an open seat for recreational diving representative on the Sanctuary Advisory Council. And I just want to, this is the first time I've made any mention of this, but anybody who has time on their hands and wants to connect with the sanctuary and represent that constituency group, I just want to let you know it'll be open mid-year.
Jesse, can you give us an overview of what the responsibilities of being on that board would be?
The responsibility of being on the board is you really should have the time to spend to attend quarterly meetings. Okay, so 4 meetings a year, and they're all day long, and they're weekday. So if you have a job, if you're retired, you know, it makes it easy. If you have a job though, you have to take a day off, a vacation day or whatever, 4 times a year to drive to Galveston. Of course, this will be after COVID. With COVID, we've been doing virtual, but go to Galveston and spend an entire day at the office. Then you'll be asked to do other things. And, you know, it could amount to, you know, upwards to, you know, 80 hours a year type of thing, or maybe even a little bit more. As a volunteer, you're not paid for it. You're not paid your mileage. Back about 6 or 7 years ago, the government would actually pay for your mileage if you lived more than, I think it was 50 miles away from the office. Because some people are driving in from New Orleans and driving in from Corpus Christi, and you know, they got some pretty long hauls, and that was covered before, but they cut that out. So it's completely voluntary.
Okay, well, thanks for the information, Jesse, and also thanks for serving on that for so long. I know you did a lot of good work there. So thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Jesse.
Okay, any other announcements?
Yeah, just one thing. David caught me in kind of a weak moment, and I agreed to try to organize workshops next year. So I sat down and thought about it, and I had 4 pretty good ideas, I thought. And then by the time Betsy and David got through with it, I think I was left with maybe 1. So
sorry,
I'm sort of joking, but not really.
You asked for input. I just gave you input.
No, so I will be. You know, I want this to be a group thing. I don't want somebody presenting. I want to hopefully several people can be drawn in, and we can have something a little collaborative. I like the way the Zoom meetings have gone. I think they'd be good for workshops, and so we'll try to organize one in January or February when, you know, we're still doing Zoom meetings, and then we'll have some in person. But I've got some ideas. I'm going to send out, this is a warning, I'm going to send out an email blast, so look for it. And I'll be, you know, we used to pass a sheet around at the meetings, so this will be the virtual way of doing that to gauge interest. So I'll take a look at what people come back and say, and it won't just be my ideas. If you have other things that you want to add in there. I'll see if I can organize a workshop. No guarantees, you know, we have to have people that are willing to jump in there and put some effort into holding a workshop. But that'll be coming pretty soon. So look forward in your email and please have a think about it, because these things can be very valuable. I've gotten a lot of benefit out of the HUPS workshops in the past. And that's what we're going to try to do here is, you know, see if we can find topics that are interest to everybody, beginner and, you know, old hands alike. So that's it. Thanks.
All right.
I think it's worth mentioning that since it is Zoom, we're really not, I don't think, limiting ourselves to just HUPS members, are we?
Oh, no, not, I mean, hell, if they want, even if when we get back in person, if they want to drive to Bayland, they're welcome to that too, you know. It's a little far for Carl, I know, but we hope to get workshops that are so interesting that even Carl would be interested to drive to Houston.
Yeah, awesome. Mark from Philadelphia.
Hey, I'm aiming high, okay?
All right, Craig, well, we're excited. We're looking forward to that, and hopefully we can get some well-attended workshops next year.
You bet. Okay,
next on my list is a Member of the Year nomination letters. And technically I'm supposed to read them, but I'm just like, ugh. I guess I'll read through quickly. You're gonna get very bored. So every year we nominate a member and or a couple to be the Member of the Year. We've been doing this for quite a while now. And I'm just gonna, and the nomination letters are written anonymously, so I don't say who's written them, but I'm gonna read through the three of them real quickly. First one, I am honored to nominate Martin Daniels as the 2020 HUPS Member of the Year. Martin has been a key member of HUPS for many years and has volunteered his time for numerous club projects. 2020 has been a crazy year of cancellations and lost opportunities where many functions have been indefinitely postponed. However, Martin has allowed us to continue to function by orchestrating the HUPS Zoom meetings. And even though we can't meet in person, he has continued to do the exhaustive monthly work of the photo contest coordinator, which we all enjoy. Martin also serves the club by participating as a board director, helping with the HUF project, and volunteering whenever there is a need. His many creative contributions to the club in this past year warrant Martin Daniels to be chosen as the 2020 HUPS Member of the Year. Okay, the second one, second nomination. The end of 2020 is here and it's time to consider contributions made to HUPS. This year is unusual since I can honestly make good arguments for 3 individuals who in a normal year would have stood head and shoulders above the rest, all of whom deserve to be HUPS Member of the Year. After much internal debate and discussion with others, my nominee is Martin Daniels for several reasons, one of which has to do with his solid contributions over multiple years. Simply stated, HUPS doesn't function nearly as smoothly without his attention to detail and rock solid dependability. An organization like HUPS can't have too many such individuals. Martin has served as our photo contest coordinator for 2 years and this has been done smoothly and with class. He obviously cares about doing a good job. Presentations at normal meetings run seamlessly due to his capability to handle and maintain our projection needs. Martin has also been a board member for several years and has served as a team member for our groundbreaking and impressive HUF project. His thoughtful contributions in all areas are highly valued. Finally, of note, in this year of disruption due to the pandemic, Martin has stepped into the void to provide the technical lead necessary for us to have monthly meetings and online workshops via Zoom. He has acted proactively during this time to communicate with speakers and arrange for trial runs to ensure their presentations run smoothly. He has also volunteered his Zoom expertise to Lunar Fins, which for those you don't know is another Houston area dive club, to ensure that their monthly meetings happen and that they run smoothly. And the third nomination letter, I would like to nominate Mary and Martin Daniels for Members of the Year. The Daniels have been active members since they joined HUPS in 2011. Mary has served on the board for the last 3 years. She served as special events coordinator in 2018 to 2020 and was our holiday party chairperson for 2018 and 2019. Martin has served on the HUPS board director since 2013. He has been the photo contest chairman for 2018, 19, and 20. Martin has also contributed to several monthly programs. During this crazy year, Martin has really stepped up to help HUPS conduct our meetings via Zoom. He has spent many hours behind the scenes researching Zoom capabilities and doing practice runs with presenters. I'm not sure how we would have conducted our meetings this year without Martin. Now more than ever, HUPS is fortunate to have Mary and Martin as members. I think they have earned being recognized as members of the year for 2020. So I guess I'm gonna propose that we select Martin and Mary as the HUPS members of the year for 2020. So we're technically supposed to vote. For those in favor, okay, yes. I see hands, that's enough. So, all right, thanks everybody, and congratulations to you guys, Martin and Mary. And now I'm gonna put Martin to work because I think this is the point we're gonna do the photo contest, correct?
Yes, photo contest.
So you wanna tell them about the special contest this month, how it's different than the normal month?
Yes, normally we have a photo contest that is submitted to a panel of judges, and the judges give them all scores, and that determines the winner. So we have a theme every month, and all the photos have to go with that theme. We do that for January through November, and then for this month we take the first place winners of each month in each category, and that's what we're going to see now, and pick kind of the best of the best. Okay, so each of these has won first place each month, and then we're going to pick the best ones of those first place winners. And then there's one additional category that we add, and that's creative. So normally you can't do a whole lot of heavy editing in the monthly contest, but in this creative contest, you can do pretty much anything you want. You can whatever, add the fish on a different background, or put in the fish going through New York City, or whatever you want to do. Some are funny, some are just, you know, spacey, whatever. So this is totally up to you what you want to do. So we're going to have 4 different contests. And what I'm going to do is play a slideshow for one of those at a time. And everybody should kind of get a pencil and paper or something so you can pick the number of the one that you like the best. And then when we're through showing the photos, I'm going to do a chat and ask everybody to do a chat and just send me your number 1 pick, your number 2, and your number 3. So if your favorite photo was number 4, and then the second one was number 6, and the second one was number 9, you just put a 4, a 6, and a 9, and separate them with a space or something like that, so that I can see your 3 choices. And then I'm going to grab all of those off the chat, and we'll see who the winner is. But I'll have to tally those all up. So everybody understand?
So you may
everybody
a pencil and a paper to write a note, because a handful.
We're going to see like 11 to 13 photos, and you got to remember which one of those you like. So we might have to go through it a couple of times if you want to see them again or something like that.
And everybody can vote. Everybody intends to vote.
Everybody can vote. Yeah.
How do you indicate first? I didn't get that.
Just the order.
The first, yeah. Oh. If you're first, you put your favorite photo down first, and then like a space, and then your second favorite, and then a space, and then your third favorite. Okay. And I will put that in the chat that I send, and try to send it privately to the host. That's me, so that everybody doesn't get a million chats. Okay.
And we can see who you voted for.
Yeah. You didn't like my photo. Okay.
To lose friends.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So you let it roll.
Yeah.
Hey Martin.
Yes.
I got a question.
Okay.
Are dogs allowed to vote? Just asking for a friend.
No, just the people. If the dog can type it in by themselves, maybe.
So the little nose on there. I was like, oh my God. Okay, no worries.
Jan's going for it.
I think Jan's dog can type.
Yeah, she's going for it.
Okay. Let me go back to Zoom. Okay. Okay, this is the first one. So the first we're going to do is the novice category. So you should see that.
Look very grainy.
Very grainy?
Very pixelated on my end, yeah.
Really?
Anyone else?
Yep.
Like it's so pixelated,
Yes.
I can't read the words at top.
Oh, yeah. That's better.
Yeah,
Good.
that's
There we go. Nice. Whoa.
Okay. Does anybody want to see that again?
Yes.
Betsy said yes. And Martin, just to be clear, are we supposed to pick 3 for each category?
Yes.
For each, okay, so 3 for novice. Okay.
Yes. So
Okay,
so when everybody's satisfied with this, I will ask for scores of this, and then we'll start the next one and ask for scores for that.
Thanks.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm confused.
Okay.
Are we choosing first, second, third, or just a winner?
First, second, third. If you, I mean, you can choose up to first, second, third. If you just want to give me a first, well, that's fine too.
Yes. And you two, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Okay. Is everybody good?
I'm okay.
Yep, all good.
So let me stop that. Just a second. I will send a message. I'll send a chat that you can just reply to, hopefully.
Oh, chat.
Yeah.
Okay, so some people have already sent theirs. Okay, so we can do that too. If you've already sent it, don't send it again. So yeah, so I see them coming in now. So go ahead and just send in your first, second, third choices.
Okay. To Martin. All right.
Yeah.
How do you send it?
Chat.
Chat.
Go to
At the
chat.
bottom of the screen, go to chat.
Well, I hit that and then I hit your name, but I don't know how to send it from there.
Type just below that where it says type message here.
Yeah, I have the same thing. I wrote it in, but there isn't a send button.
Hit
return. Just hit return.
Oh,
Ah,
that didn't work.
Enter.
It's not going anywhere. Wait,
No.
maybe.
Hit enter.
Yeah, it should say on top.
Not going.
From you to Martin.
Yeah, it's not going. I hit enter. Huh, that's weird.
How do you get it to go?
I can't get it to go either. There's no send button.
Just
hit return.
I did that eight times. No, oh, there it finally went. There we go.
Okay.
You hit return?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Return where?
On your keyboard.
On the keyboard. Just hit
On
enter.
your keyboard, return.
Enter.
Oh, return. Oh, okay.
You also have to have that window highlighted to hit return.
Oh yeah, right.
Maybe that's why it didn't work the first
Click in that
times.
window and then hit return. Sure.
I don't see. I still don't see return.
Enter on your keyboard.
Enter on your keyboard.
I tried it.
Put the cursor in that box.
It went. Okay, thank you.
Went.
Did it go? Yeah, okay, I got it. Okay, has
Has
everybody voted? Okay.
Right, next.
Okay. Okay, so next we're going to do intermediate.
Okay.
Share. A lot of buttons here. Okay. Okay.
Can you do it again?
One more time? Okay. Okay. Is everybody good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So send me those.
I understand that the creative contest had an avalanche this year.
Yes, it was
good.
Amazing.
24 members or 24 pictures?
Well, we whittled it down. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got it down to 18. So I think everybody's seeing too much Go Ask Aaron webinars and they had to try their skills or something. Okay. Has everybody sent theirs in?
Yeah.
Okay. Capture that. Okay, let me look real quick to make sure that it's there. Okay. Yeah.
He's short.
Okay, so now we're going to do the advanced.
So all you people that don't normally attend meetings, I just thought I'd let you know that normally we don't do the judging at the meeting like this. It's done in advance. So we just show the entrants and the winners. So it's not quite so drawn out every month.
Yeah. Yeah, the December is the only time we actually do the judging in the meeting.
Oh.
Interesting. Wow.
That's nice.
Okay, one more time.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question.
Okay.
How come there's 13 entries?
Because we had some ties.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Oops, wait a minute. Did that not work?
We started at the end.
It's not going, and we're still at the end here.
Okay, what happened?
Wow.
Okay, are we good?
Okay.
What kind of shark is that on 13?
Looks like it's a tiger.
Tiger, sure.
Yeah.
Emma. That's Emma, probably. And I think I know who took it. In fact, I do know who took it.
That's why I'm not voting. I know who took almost all of these.
Yeah, well, let me see.
Hi, Sandy.
Did everybody vote? All right, Marty, I think we're good.
Okay.
Hi, Tom.
So the last one is creative.
Oh. One more.
One more.
Hey, Tom.
Sandy.
Sandy.
Well, look at there.
I'm here. Just,
Yeah, I see you,
being
Sandy.
incognito. Well, I just had my name up. I didn't have me.
You didn't have your picture.
Oh, touchdown.
Did you finish your welding, Tom?
No, not yet. Got a long way to go. Ooh, look at this.
Whoa.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, one more time.
Yeah, we need that again for sure.
Yeah.
There's some good ones there.
A lot of different interpretations for creative.
That's just what I was thinking.
Like that.
you go through one more time?
Yeah, I'm not against that.
One more time? Okay.
I know which one I like best. I just don't know about the others.
I was just looking at the hubs. They were doing some pictures tonight. Pretty crazy.
All right.
All right. Everybody good?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Martin, I didn't know how this was going to work, but I think it is. I think you figured out something pretty well.
Hopefully all this will work. Is everybody done?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I guess we're done with that.
Okay, great. Dennis, I think it's you.
All right. Well, let me.
So are we going to have the winners
Just a second.
posted on Facebook, or what's the plan, Martin?
Yeah. I'll pull it all together and put it on Facebook.
Could you send an email to me?
Okay.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Oops.
Do you need a minute, Dennis?
No, I guess I'm ready to roll.
Okay.
Let me, I think I'm set up here. Gallery view, full view. Okay.
So what do we do? Call you Lion Mane now?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
You like that?
You look like a wild man from the mountain.
Yeah, Carl, you're almost there.
Oh, I got a way to go, buddy.
I haven't been out of the house since February.
Are you kidding me?
You're really a holdout, Dennis. That's crazy.
Jesus.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is introduce our speaker, and it's Mathis Weatherall. And we've had him in HUPS in the past, and he's going to be talking to us about his trip with his group to Wakatobi. And I told him about the 1999 trip that I went with Ken Kinesic out there when that was even before they had an airstrip on the island of Tomea. And so it was like a real ordeal getting out there, and it was not anywhere near the resort it is now. Much smaller, much more primitive. like I told him earlier. And a lot of adventurous things happened during that trip. So tonight, I was able to get a lot of information from Mathis and put together a presentation, and we'll view it now. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Hang on. See it?
Yes. The name Mathis conjures up memories that are both musical and artistic to me. In the 15th century, a rather obscure artist named Mathis Grunwald painted mostly religious works. Only 10 of his paintings have survived to the present day. This being the Christmas season, I thought it would be appropriate to view some of his artwork. In 1935, the German composer Paul Hindemith wrote an opera and a more popular symphony, both named Mathis de Maler, or Mathis the Painter. And that brings us to our present-day painter, Mathis Weatherall.
Hi, thanks for letting me do this. When David and Dennis first reached out to me, I thought, gosh, what could I possibly speak about that many of the people in HUPS don't already know? I'm still kind of thinking that actually, but it is an honor, and I appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about my experiences and what I'm doing in video and such these days. So, you know, I started in underwater photography in the mid-'80s, and I actually started with this camera right here. This is my first underwater camera. You're probably familiar with my before. And then, just for fun, my very first digital.
Someone say something?
Yeah, you need to start it over. It's not doing well at all.
Okay.
Try it one more time.
Oh, there's the camera.
Just pause and hit play again, see what happens.
Hit play
Yeah,
again?
it's not syncing at all.
Okay. You want me to get out of it and get back into it?
Yes, please do. Please do. For some reason or other, it's the video and the sound are not at all synced at all.
Okay.
It's probably buffering problems.
It's actually how I talk.
Really?
I can attest to that.
Thanks, Rosemary.
I like that picture, the early picture of the when you had long hair. Was that in the 80s or 90s or when was that? The first picture of you.
The first picture was the 80s in front of Key Largo ocean divers. Yeah, I was bulletproof.
I think in the 80s we all were.
Yeah, right.
If everybody can please mute, we can hear it better too. We don't hear all the bumps and everything.
Yeah, mute. Hit the mute. The name Mathis conjures up memories that are both musical and artistic to me. In the 15th century, a rather obscure artist named Mathis Grunwald painted mostly religious works. Only 10 of his paintings have survived to the present day. This being the Christmas season, I thought it would be appropriate to view some of his artwork. In 1935, the German composer Paul Hindemith wrote an opera and a more popular symphony, both named Mathis de Maler, or Mathis the Painter. And that brings us to our present-day painter, Mathis Weatherall.
Hi, thanks for letting me do this. When David and Dennis first reached out to me, I thought, gosh, what could I possibly speak about that many of the people in HUPS don't already know? I'm still kind of thinking that actually, but it is an honor, and I appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about my experiences and what I'm doing in video and such these days. So, you know, I started in underwater photography in the mid-'80s, and I actually started with this camera right here. This is my first underwater camera. You're probably familiar with the Nikon 4. And then, just for fun, my very first digital camera was this guy. And what's really quite amusing and funny with this is the the screen that came with this. This is the Nikon Coolpix 5000, I believe it's called. And you know, while I'm on the subject, I'm just walking around in my office here. This photo back here in the background was my first digital, that was taken with this camera and Bonaire, and I was so proud of it. If you guys remember shutter lag, it was almost impossible to get a photo with these guys. But anyway, I grew up with those guys, and underwater photography has been, still photography has really been my thing. Of course, in film back in the 80s and beyond, and then moved to the digital environment. I still really enjoy still photography, but I have morphed into more video in the recent years. And I would say when I go on a trip, I take 2 systems, and probably 75% of the time lately I'm doing video, and then I call them my off days to take a little break. I'll shoot you know, my original passion, which is still photography. I find it much easier and a little bit more peaceful than video. And so anyway, I enjoy it all. So yeah, I'm going to share a video that I put together. I feel like every time I do a video, I get a little bit better. I'm learning some stuff actually from you guys there at HUPS, and thanks again.
Some things I've learned about Mathis. He and Shannon have been married 7 years now. She shares his passion for diving and is a great spotter. She also helps direct his films. He has a son, Sellers, and a daughter, Melissa. Mathis has a close association with the Giggling Marlins dive shop and is good friends with owners Bill and Tanya Merritt. For the past several years, he has been the president of the Marlin Dive Team Scuba Club. On occasion, he has taught underwater photography and videography at Giggling Marlins. Years ago, Mathis took off a semester to be a dive instructor in the Florida Keys, where he met and became friends with Stephen Frink. He has also taught underwater photography at Texas State University using Howard Hall's book, Successful Underwater Photography, the one that you see here. Some of his photos have been published in a Skin Divers magazine article on whale sharks written by Mandy Wagner. At the time, he was living on Roatan at Anthony's Key Resort. This was the house he was living in on Roatan. Mathis has also had photos published in Favorite Places, a travel and leisure book. Before Mathis takes over, I'd like to share a few minutes cut from one of his films. It is excellent and deserves to be seen and enjoyed.
Okay, I think we'll turn it over to Mathis and let him take it away.
Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, thanks very much for inviting me to do this. We're going to play a video from our Giggling Marlin trip to Wakatobi from October 2019. I'll make just a few comments ahead of that, and then at the end, we can, if there's time, we can talk about it, questions, answers, anything like that. I can share more. First, there's so much to appreciate about Wakatobi. It's a story in itself, how I came to find Wakatobi and the quest to finally get there. I won't bore you with that, but I will say this: get there. Try to get to Wakatobi at some point. It's just absolutely amazing. And I can't say anything other than just get there, try and put it on your radar. We are going for our third trip next year, October 2021. That's our plan anyway, and we're really looking forward to another return trip. So let me just make a few comments about this video before it plays. Maybe three things here. The first is it's a lot. So, and it's a lot for a reason. It's a story. It's a story, and it's meant to be a keepsake for all of the people that went on this adventure. For all the trips that Shannon and I go on, we offer a keepsake video like this for all the people in the group, and we've done plenty of them for the trips that we've done. We certainly enjoy them ourselves, and we just have a lot of fun putting these together, and we know the people that go on the trips enjoy them as well. So before we leave on a group trip like this, we make a checklist and we plan out all of the shots and think through everything that we're going to try and collect to tell a story. Things like, where did you stay? What did the dive boat look like? What's the culture like? How's the resort? What's the accommodations? What do you see when you're diving there? And stuff like that, on and on and on. And so we have a list of all these things. And the other thing that's really important is to find a creative way to include everybody in the video. That's why there's so much in the videos. We try and get everybody to have a part in the video and have a showing, get them underwater, get them topside and things like that. So that's challenging sometimes. If you've ever done that and swam up current to get in front of somebody going through a swim through, it's a lot of work, but we try to do that. One final thing I'll say is this video, kind of as a bonus, and we haven't done this before, is we used captioning for all of the animals that we saw on this trip. So there was a lot of work. We're Fish ID people, and we really like that. And you know, we saw a lot of different marine life when we were there. So we put the subtitles there to kind of help identify the fish. And it's really important to the people that went on the trip. So as you watch this video, please just consider all of these things I just shared. It's a story about 12 people that spent 4 days in Bali and then 7 days at Wakatobi Dive Resort. And I hope as you watch, you'll try to imagine that maybe you were there as part of the group. And that's it. Martin? Drum roll?
Yeah, hang on.
No pressure.
No pressure, yeah. Okay, share.
Yes, we don't have any magic buttons, do we?
Yeah, I need a way to script this or something.
pygmy seahorse?
Oh yeah, that pygmy seahorse. Pufferfish convention, orangutan crab, turtle, oriental sweet lips, eel, catfish with funny things on its eyes. Pygmy seahorse! Pygmy seahorse, yes.
I saw the elusive dronefish.
Oh! Oh yeah! Oh, bumphead parrotfish, 3 of them at the beginning. They were awesome.
We saw scorpionfish.
Oh yeah.
Saw nudies. Saw bumphead parrots. And
eel.
Eel. Oh yeah. I didn't see an eel.
Among other things, a blue spotted ribbon-tailed ray take off and just dive down hard
we saw a number of turtles, but we saw a huge green turtle asleep, just kind of stuck in the ledge.
They knew it was asleep, like.
Wow, that was great.
Excellent, excellent.
Very nice, very nice.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed that.
Well, it was
It's good you lived up to that big intro.
Yeah, right. The intro. I was more impressed with the intro than the video, right? It's like, wow.
I don't think so. I'm interested in the camera setup that you have with the filters and lights and how you're getting such good color.
Yeah, so a lot of white balance, constantly white balancing throughout the dive. If I change 5 foot in depth, it's just nonstop white balance. In terms of the camera itself, it's the Panasonic GH5. Tom, I think you've got the same. And one of the things that I changed up for this trip was I got a lens. It's an Olympus 12 to 40 2.8. And prior to that, and I used that lens exclusively this entire trip. I never changed the lens. And oh my goodness, that was such a treat. You know, I know a lot of you on the phone are like, gosh, I do wide angle. Hey, where are we going tomorrow? Wide angle, macro. And I didn't have to do that this whole trip. And that was really, really nice. And yes, it's true. Sometimes I couldn't get in as close as I wanted or as wide as I wanted, but I was able to pull it off and it was fine. I never had that feeling like, man, I brought the wrong rig today. So anyway, I could get, that's that. But, you know, prior to getting that lens, I was using, you know, I had the 8mm and I also had a 60mm. And Tom, I was talking to you about the 60mm. The 60mm with this crop factor on the Panasonic GH5 it's a killer. I mean, you pretty much have to have a tripod. And by the way, tripods are not allowed at Wakatobi. They do that for a reason, to respect the marine life. You know, I guess there's some people out there that just don't use a tripod correctly. And so I respect that, but it's sure, you know, pygmy seahorse video, no tripod, not easy. So anyway, I don't know if I answered your question, Dennis, but that's no filters or anything, just white balancing.
What do you use for lights?
Do you have a video light?
Yeah, I have two iTorch Pro 600s. They're 2,400 lumens each. And I've got about 8 batteries.
Okay, now when you're using your lights close in, you take off your white balance. Or did you ever use automatic white balance?
No, I don't. But one of the really cool features, and maybe other cameras have this on the GH5, is you can preset white balances. So I'll save 4 different white balances. I'll have one that's, say, a 30-foot depth, a 50-foot depth, a 60-foot depth, and I'll have one that's I'm using lights. And then so I can quickly in my menu pick one of those 4, or I can say, nope, none of those fit. I'm setting my white balance right now, and I don't have to save it to memory, but I'll just use that certain white balance right then. But absolutely, yeah, if you've got your white balance set, you know, to 40 feet, then you flip the lights on and you're in close, you know what happens. That doesn't work so great.
Were you carrying a gray card with you?
No, I didn't. I used to carry that a card around, a slate like that, and I usually just try and find a patch of sand or something like that to white balance. And you know, when I was talking to the guys at Backscatter, you know, they told me to do that. And I'm like, well, what if I can't find a patch of sand? I'm on a wall or something. But you just find something that seems reasonable. And I really haven't been burned by that. But anyway, back to when they first were telling me that, I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. I need to get some kind of card or something that I can take a photo of. I've actually used my hand before, you know, as my spot when I just didn't have anything else. Oh, don't let me forget to mention, I also have an external monitor for the system. It's a Small HD is the brand, and it's in a Nauticam housing, and it's like the monitor. If any of you have one, you probably know, but it's like it's a little bit bigger than your max sized iPhone, and so this guy sits on the top of my camera. And with my eyesight, and you know, I've got readers at the bottom of my mask and all that kind of stuff, it makes a huge difference with focus peaking and things like that. So it's almost like cheating.
Well, that brings my question up, because I do have what you have. Focus peaking. Are you on manual all the time? Focus?
Yeah, my settings are manual and
focus.
I do that. Focus. Yeah, I use it. Well, I switch back and forth if it's a macro subject. Tom, I don't know if you've updated your firmware on your GH5, but they had some major autofocus issues with the GH5. And then I found something about, if you change your shutter speed, instead of 125, change it to a weird number like 124, all of a sudden your focus is better. And so I did that, and it made a huge difference. But I kind of switch back and forth.
Okay. Last time I went to Wakatobi, they what was that? Wings. Noticed the plane Wings. Wakatobi had their own plane. So now commercial flights go into Wakatobi.
It's a charter flight it's still their plane, or it's still a plane that they hire. So it's only Wakatobi people on that plane. And so I think you're right. When we went the first time, maybe it had that on there, and but it's still their flight, and they take care of, you know, all of the details for that.
I'm glad to see that palm tree still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the famous palm tree. Yeah. That's a neat one.
Bungalow 14, I think it is. That's our new favorite.
Oh, we love that place.
Every time we go, we have new favorite. That wasn't our favorite. This is our favorite. It just goes on and on. And yeah, you if you haven't been and you're going, if you've been, then you get it. If you haven't been and you're going, you're really in for a treat. It truly is amazing. And by the way, you know, like I said in the beginning, this is a long video because there's a lot of people and it's telling a big story, and we're trying to pack a lot in there. Oh, these videos, when I do these, I'll also do a 3-minute version. So I have a 3-minute version of that video that we just played, you know, that's more tolerable for folks that didn't actually go on the trip, or you know, a lot of people in this group probably do like to see it all, but you know what I'm talking about.
You know, one thing about Wakatobi, I think they have the best dive boats. They're the most comfortable.
Oh my goodness, yeah. when you first see the dive boat, if you're like me, you look at a huge dive boat and you think, oh boy, that's not going to be good. That means there's going to be 40 divers. Nope, not one time. Every single time, it seemed like they could have had 3 times the number of divers on the boat, and they don't. And they do that on purpose. And yeah, sometimes I feel like I work for Wakatobi, but you come up from the dive, and it's like, here's your towel for your face, and here's your hot tea, just the way you like it, and you've got all the space or snacks. It's just.
And I think the ratio is like 4 to. If you don't get the villa, it's usually 4 to 1. 4 divers to 1 dive master is usually your group that usually you go.
Yeah.
But because we were with a group of 12, we usually split up in 2 groups. We did 6 and 6, and we had our own boat. There was nobody else on our boat.
Yeah, so that whole boat was just our group, and we had 3 or 4 dive masters for the whole group. And also, when you hear that, you're like, wow, so they're just going to be herding us around. No, that means they're going to spot stuff for you, and you're going to see more stuff and things like that. But
hey, one other thing, Mathis, you said that you had a favorite dive master that Jesse needs to request.
Katuk.
Yeah, I hope we said that right,
yeah,
Michelle.
Hopefully we said the name right, but he was just nothing. He was just amazing. You know,
he's native there.
Yeah,
so he's from Wakatobi.
Katuk was a guy that we had.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, Michelle Winkle, if you didn't hear at the beginning, she's on here, and she is the rep for Wakatobi. So if you want me to bore you someday, I'll tell you how I came on to Wakatobi, but I probably knew Michelle for six years before I actually went to Wakatobi, and she was so patient with me and us, and helping us figure it all out, but she can certainly answer any logistical questions like that.
And if you go to Wakatobi, I strongly encourage you to get the concierge service, because they will help you. Like, so we were in Bali and we had to schedule tours for everybody, for 12 of us, and people were coming in like 3 different times, 3 different days, and the concierge helped us figure it all out. They actually put all the tours on everyone else's bills, so we didn't have to collect any money. But now there is a fee with the concierge service, but well worth it.
Yeah, it really is worth it. We definitely recommend that. And anyway,
have you been
well, maybe we'll see you in October, Mathis. We're going to be there 15th to 25th of October.
Oh wow. What's our date, Shannon? I don't know. We'll get back to you on that. She'll look it up, but
I forget. It's like the 3rd. I think it's the week before.
We can't wait, and we're hoping it's far enough away to, you know, that it's going to stick and be okay. And I'm literally counting the days for that. And
okay, Mathis, you can't screw things up for us when we get there, right? You got to be nice.
No, I'll be very nice. Yeah.
Hey, so is there much shore diving there, or is it all boat diving?
No, you could dive.
Yeah, there's they have a house reef. You know what really sells the place is in the video you probably saw a dock, and at the end of the dock you can look over the edge, and that's a wall. And right near the end of that dock there's stairs that go down, and if you want to do that, they carry everything that you just literally walk down these stairs, and they put your tank on your back, and you just fin kick 5 kick cycles, and you're on top of a bunch of clownfish and such. I mean, so you're wall diving right from the resort, and you can do that kind of unlimited. You can night dive there, and then there's boat dives, and the boat dives, you know, the
usually 3 per day.
Yeah, 3 per day, and the boat ride is short. Could be 5 minutes, it could be 12 minutes. There's a couple of sites where they go a little bit further, but nothing really long.
70-minute dives, and we usually went longer.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, another thing is that you can go right off of the in the shallows there, and you have the seagrass and all kinds of stuff that shows up right off of the beach right there. It's excellent shore diving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it really, really is.
And ironically enough, when we had our kickoff party, we were like, talking about everybody's dive experience. There was one person, she goes, I'm not certified, I'm not a diver. And we're like, you're going to Wakatobi and you're not diving, but she made the best of it. She actually did all the activities. She even did a little bit of snorkeling, because a lot of people will go there also for snorkeling.
She had a blast. But then the next thing that's funny about that is, you know, wait, you're not a diver and you're going on this trip? Yeah, that's okay. I'm just going to hang out at the pool. And then we said, there's no pool. And she was like, oh, well then I'm just gonna, you know,
I'll go into the town. No, you don't go into the town, but maybe once at the end.
Yeah. So it was great. Another thing that I was just going to share is you might have noticed, and I'll sort of kind of bring this back to when I started in video. When I worked at Anthony's Key Resort, I was the guy that a group would hire and say, hey, do a video of our family diving today. And back then it was on 8mm tape, and the editing was put this tape in this and then put a VCR over here and hit record and hit play, and you'd sync some music in and all of that. And anyway, one of the things that I learned back then was to shoot in what I call like a 1-2 sequence. And so throughout that video, there was you should have noticed or seen, or one of the things that I just keep going back to is trying to get 2 angles of everything, if it's possible, you know, a close and a far, a left and a right, an up or a down, and so forth. And so Stephen Frink and some guys that worked at his facility in the Florida Keys, they would do videos, and I learned it from those guys, and I just have so much fun with that. I don't know what made me think of that, but there you go.
What do you use for your editing?
I'm sorry?
Editing.
What do you use for your editing? Video editing.
Final Cut
Okay.
Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, and I need to look up. I was talking to Dennis. I really want to get DaVinci because, guys, I didn't even know about image stabilization until I saw your presentation earlier this year, and I thought, what? So I want to go back and remake that video with the pygmy seahorses and all, and leverage the software option. Well, when I say image stabilization, you know, I have it in camera, but I'm talking about the post editing that DaVinci does that you guys were showing. That looked amazing when I saw that earlier this year.
Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world.
Oh, I just can't. I was like, you know, I was like, somebody should come up with this, you know, and then you guys were like, oh yeah, this is how you do that. And
your
basically,
video, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, anytime that you have a distracting element when you're doing a film, then what happens is the people's attention will wander away from the story and what you're trying to tell. And stabilization is something that the eye picks up on almost immediately. And at that point, you start thinking, well, that's not so good. It's the same thing with out of focus, anything. When you see something that's out of focus, you stop thinking about the story and you start thinking about the technical.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but your video was so excellent, so good and stable. I'm surprised that was all natural. It was really good.
Well, thank you. You know, of course, I took the best 2 or 3 seconds I could find out of, you know, whatever. You know how it goes.
I have a quick question for you, Mathis.
Yeah.
The Wakatobi is absolutely fabulous from what I'm seeing here. I've seen multiple people over the years that have really enjoyed being there. But all around Sulawesi, there's wonderful diving. Have you been to any of the other places on Sulawesi or off Sulawesi?
No, I haven't, and I wonder what else is there. I mean, I feel like so much of my life has been Caribbean, little bit of Pacific, but then all of a sudden I find the Coral Triangle. And it's just like, where have you been all of my life, you know? And I'm just blown away at that. And so anyway,
if I'm correct, this is like the southwest side of the island of Sulawesi. Is Michelle?
Southeast.
Southeast.
Let me take over for just a second. When you fly in, at least the way we did, we flew into Makassar, which is in the southeast corner, and then we took a flight from there going northeast into Kendari. When we got on Kendari, we got on a boat, and 20 hours later we ended up in Wakatobi.
But you don't do that anymore.
Yeah, but
that's old.
That's
old school.
Yeah, I think Dennis is playing us there. Now
there was no air service there when we heard about Wakatobi the first time.
You got to understand, Dennis flew in on a biplane.
That's right.
I salute you for doing that. I just
they didn't even have any way to. They had no water purification there. Everything stunk of hydrogen sulfide. When I dipped my my camera in the dip tank and pulled it out, every piece of metal on it had turned black because of the sulfides in it.
That's the old days. I also went in
1957, though. That's like
that's the old days.
Right.
Yeah, I went in the year 2000 when they called it the cruise. It was an 18 to 20 hour boat ride to get there.
I've done that boat ride. I have lived through the boat ride, and I do not recommend it.
That's what they call a third world dive boat.
Yeah, now it's a charter flight from Bali, Dennis. Much easier.
On the way home, there weren't enough berths for everybody, and Ken Kinesic and I sat around, or actually tried to sleep on the deck, and it was just rolling around at what it was.
Oh my goodness.
And you had how many other people on the boat with you?
Yeah.
Well, there were a bunch of people that were going back that weren't part of the dive group that was.
Yeah,
Ken's
and you
dive
usually
group.
get the locals. You get a lot of the locals too.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Luckily, that's not there anymore.
No.
I would have done it.
So tell them what it is today.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you know, but for those that haven't been and you hearing all that, today it's you fly to Bali
at least the night before.
Yeah, you want to get to Bali at least a day or two before Friday when the plane flies over to Wakatobi, which is I think a 3-hour flight, something like that. And so that's it. And
well, you could spend 10 days on Bali and enjoy every minute of it, and then go over and spend another 10 days at Wakatobi.
Yeah.
Yes, you could.
And then you could go and spend
definitely
10 days in Lembe and drive the strait. And when you come back, you won't have a job.
I would really have liked to have done the Mata Point over there on Nusa Penida. I've never been there. I've been to Nusa Penida twice, but never been to Mata.
No, we didn't go to Mata either. That was amazing.
You should have been out there in Indonesia in 1990. You know, what is this deck to sleep on and stuff like that? I mean, that's luxury.
Well, Nusa Penida is where I got my sunfish.
Yes, us too.
Mola Mola.
The Mola Mola.
We
Amazing.
tried. We didn't get it.
That's a hard one to catch.
We tried. We went for the Mola Molas 3 times, or 3 different dives, but we never found it. But with the Manas, we went to Mana Point twice, and it was a sure thing both times.
The worst current I've ever seen was in Nusa Penida, so you gotta get it at the right time. It can be really, really dangerous. But anyway.
Dennis has a story about that.
Yeah, one of my first dives I ever took, I rented the whole boat to get over there, and they dumped me in the water with about a 14-year-old kid that was my dive master. And this was between the island of Nusa Penida and Lembongan Island. And it was at tide change. And it was like we were cruise missiles. And we would get over next to the drop off, and the current would take us down, and it would be like being in a washing machine. We would go down and then we'd come bring it back up, and it was just going around and around and around. We finally just headed over to the shore and walked up on the shore and waited for the boat. 15 minutes later, the boat found us.
Yeah, we did that dive with reef hooks because of that down current.
Lisa, what's that?
Reef hooks.
Oh, reef hooks. Okay.
Oh, I thought you said reflux.
Well, one thing I remember about Wakatobi was where you ate the meals, the cafeteria area, that big pavilion. They really have a nice spread there.
Yeah, we were very, very impressed with it. We looked forward to every meal for sure, and we only missed one meal, and they actually called us and checked on us. Are you guys okay? And we're like, yeah, we're fine. Well, we didn't see you at dinner tonight. We thought that was impressive that they.
Right, because we'll keep in mind on the island, you only have maybe 50 maximum people there at the same time, I believe. I mean, it's very limited. So you kind of get to know other people. You see them at the dinner, breakfast, lunch. But yeah, the meals are excellent. You never get tired of the same. They don't have the same meal. You know, it's different each night.
Yeah.
Now, did you get to go to both of the little towns, the Sea Gypsy camp, and also the more civilized area on Tomea?
This up. I need permission for.
I don't know. I feel like we only went to one town. I can say that, and I don't know which one it was, but I think it was the Sea Gypsy town.
I think so too. Yeah.
If you saw a lot of dugout canoes, that would have been the Sea Gypsy camp.
Yeah, a lot of like right when your boat pulls in, and also people could ride their bikes or walk from that town to Wakatobi, but we went there via boat, arrived at a dock, got off the dock, and it's a fishing village. And then we just kind of walked up and did a loop around and
went into the school. Yeah,
the school, and saw all the people and all that. It was great. I got this bracelet when I was there, and I told Shannon the deal is if this bracelet breaks, that's it. We're going to Wakatobi. And some days I threaten to break it. Right.
Yeah.
I was telling Mathis earlier when we were there, the Sea Gypsies, who had been there for hundreds of years apparently and fishing those waters, came in one evening, and just as the sun was going down, and we saw these lights coming up through the shallows, and we got our binoculars and looked at them, and this was the whole town had turned out, and they were carrying these gas-fired lanterns as they were walking up in the shallows, and they were gigging everything that they could find in those protected waters. The owner, Lawrence, and the engineer talked to the leader that was out on one of the boats, and the leaders said, well, we've been here for a couple of 100 years fishing these waters, and we're going to continue doing it. If you don't like it, we'll come back and burn you out. A little bit later, they got on the phone with the park rangers, and they came out and told the story about it. The next day, they went over and talked to the village elders and told them how things were going to be. And apparently that calmed everything down. Since then, Wakatobi has been, as a policy, has been hiring people from that village as well as the other town as well. And it's apparently a good win-win situation. But back then it was very, very tense. We didn't know if we were going to wake up to flaming bungalows or not.
Yikes.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Glad they worked all that out.
Yeah.
Usually some cash will, you know, alleviate those situations as well. If you remember the guys on the Aranui, every time we stopped to dive in a place, they had to go over to the, you know, island and talk to the chief.
Yeah, there's always a lot of talking to the chiefs over there.
And it wasn't just a talk, I think.
Drop a little money on them.
There was a certain fee for diving in their area. Yeah, well, I understand that actually, you know. I don't have any problem with that.
It works. It actually works.
Mathis, how long have you had your GH5?
I got, let's see, it was...
Last time I saw you had the 4.
I've had it a couple of years.
Okay.
I had it when I saw you at the recompression chamber. Because we were talking about the 60 millimeter and how I asked you about your 60 millimeter and you said, yeah, I got rid of that. That was right when I was.
Wait a minute, he sold it to us.
I sold it to Betsy.
I mean, it's still a great lens. I still have my lens. I didn't get rid of it, but it's only going to be used if I know it's tight and I can use a tripod.
Yeah, I mean, it's a macro. Hard. It's a macro lens, but
yeah.
Man, is it beautiful? I mean, when you get the shot with it, it's beautiful.
Yeah, like some of the in the Philippines video, the goby and the shrimp, you know, with the bulldozer shrimp, that was with the 60 millimeter. So when you've got a subject that's parked and not moving, it's a great lens.
I think Craig does a 60 with a diopter too.
I do sometimes, yeah. Not successfully all the time.
Yeah, I have a diopter for mine as well, but I don't know that that's helped me very much.
Well, I use the same basic lens you do, but it's the Olympus Pro lens, 8-42, I think it is, and I put on a +4 diopter, and it still focuses all the way out to infinity behind the dome port, and it gets me closer so I can get better quality semi-macro.
Right.
You might want to check it out and see.
I we need to look into it.
But I agree with you totally, Mathis. You know, hanging on a wall with some current at 90 feet, a pygmy seahorse. Actually, I don't know a lens that's going to get you out of that problem. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, when it's still photo, it's I have a D300. I'm kind of, you know, it's an older system, but I still love it.
Yeah.
And in a 60 millimeter lens, and that does the trick for me pretty well. I have a 105 lens too, but it's I'm sure you play the same game where it's like, okay, I see it. Now you look through your camera, I don't see it. I see it, I don't see it, you know, and by the way, there's a bunch of I don't see it with nothing, you know, and finally when you do see it, it's you know what I'm talking about.
So this guy that we know in Limbe Strait, who runs Black Sand, I saw a comment from him the other day, you know, and he's been posting a bunch of stuff he's done over the years. A lot of his slides that he's scanned to show. And he put one of a pygmy seahorse and he says, this is back in the days when I was still trying to photograph pygmy seahorses. So he lives there and he said no more.
Yeah, it's something else, but they're so exciting, you know. Yeah. And we saw our first at Wakatobi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
I will say you had a nice video, I thought, of the pygmy seahorses because they are very challenging, and you had some good footage of them. So congrats.
Well, I need to go back and thank you, but I need to go back and work on it with Da Vinci, and then, you know, I really do.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
they ought to look at, I mean, I'm wondering if that's another species. The one you said was Ponto. It had a lot of yellow. It had kind of a yellow saddle on his back, and I've never seen that on a Pontoid before. So I'm wondering, the rest of the coloring was the same, but I'm just wondering if that might be another variation on the species or something. It was really a nice video.
I wouldn't be surprised. There's a lot, you know, the Denise's pygmy was one of, you know, like they thought they knew all the pygmies, and then one day Denise found a Denise pygmy seahorse, and that's that. I know what I did and what we both did is at the end of every dive, we knew we were going to do this. And so we would go to the dive master again. And what was that? And what was this? And even when we got back, I would screen print. There were probably 4 or 6 different animals where I was like, man, I don't remember what this is. I can't find it in the book. And, but as I recall, there are 3 different pygmy seahorses there. The Pontoc,
the red and white.
Yeah. Bargibanti. Yeah. The Bargibanti.
Yeah, that's the red one.
Yeah. Well, it comes in yellow too, but yeah,
you can have yellow.
He's got the big warts all over him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know that Larry and Denise died, I think, of cancer a few years back. Unfortunately. She's the one that started the pygmy seahorse thing, I suppose.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun for sure.
One of the things that I found really helpful was we had a dive guide who had the metal sticks to point out the pygmies to us. And he would leave that stick right next to the seahorse so I could get the camera to focus in on the stick. And then when he pulled the stick away, I shot and prayed.
Yeah,
that's exactly what Katuk did for us in Wakatobi, and he was our guy the whole week, and we had a communication system. He would do exactly what you said. I would get in there and I would just do this with my head, and as soon as he would do that, as soon as I do my head, he'd pull the stick away, click.
Right.
I mean, it's like he must have been a photographer, because he totally was working with me and really
they've guides for a long time, probably since they were 15, you know.
Yeah.
So they know what we're looking for. They find it for us, and then they just serve it to us on a platter, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That little pointer. I have a lot of pictures of that pointer.
I'm not going to be using my strobes anymore. I'm going to be doing the Barry Gumbelow thing. I've got these 15,000 watt burners now, and I'm going to go natural, or what is it, continuous lighting, he calls it.
You can also do rapid fire with that.
Yeah, I guess we could. Yeah.
Pygmies are going to love that, Dennis.
Yeah. You could
only
be
get
diving.
5 shots at Wakatobi.
Yeah.
You could be diving all alone.
You're going to get a lot of pygmy butt shots that way.
Now, do you run an extension cord up to the boat for that?
His dive buddy has to carry a generator.
Yeah, plug it into my ass and go.
Wow, that's impressive.
Well, I think the most compelling thing about these new lights is that you can step them down so that you can shoot really good scenes with it at half power or 1/3 power or whatever. And then when you really need it to come out, it's there. The problem with that, Dennis, is that those pygmy seahorses, they're going to tuck their head and hide from you every single time.
I know it.
Well, Mathis,
of course I know it.
Mathis, you said yours were 2,400.
Yeah.
Those are small, Dennis. They're not a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a small spotter one. I won a small spotter one in the was from Scubaverse that hasn't shown up yet. I think I'm going to go through the same thing that that Craig went through. I'm going to have to call him back several times to get my merchandise.
Tom, what do you use for lights?
3,000. Two of them that are 3,000 each. Not much bigger than yours.
Okay.
And I shoot them a lot of times on half power. But a lot of things on the video that you can do natural lighting, ambient lighting, it looks so much more realistic sometimes, especially the wide angle. You know.
Yeah, it's just hard to get the color to pop.
Well, when you're macro, you don't need a whole lot of light. Like
well, that's true.
You just don't need it.
You don't. You're so close.
Oh, but then it's just trying to replace the strobes, and that's a different story.
Right.
Actually, you know, guys, Betsy shot that way for a couple of years.
Right.
With just, she had a couple, at the time they were big honking lights. They were 5,000 lumens each. And she shot stills with those, although they still don't get the color now. With 18,000, you're going to get pretty good color, Dennis.
Well, maybe 15, something like that.
Except everything's going to look like a fried egg.
Yeah. You'll be able to find where I am. Just follow the steam bubbles.
Mathis, I have a question. Is it okay if HUPS puts your presentation on our YouTube channel?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'll do that tomorrow.
Do that.
I'll send you the introduction too.
Okay, thank you, Dennis.
Yeah, I think we're going viral. I think we're like up to 150 hits now. You know, for underwater, that's pretty viral. You know.
We're gonna start making big money off of YouTube ads.
I was just gonna say I sure appreciate doing this. Of course, you know, it's a passion and it's definitely my happy place. Some days we'll just stand in front of our TV and watch one of our trip videos and I told Shannon, I think it was last week, I was having a bad day at work. I was like, if I'm ever having a bad day, just tell me to go watch a video, because every time I do, I just even watching it here tonight, again, it just puts me in my happy place. So that means you're doing something you like, you know, and that's important. So
okay, well, remember, put this on your calendar, Mathis. Next year after April, when we open it up to the film festival for 2022, you need to get us several films in for the film festival.
You're talking about HUPS.
Yeah, Houston Underwater Film Festival.
You know what the hardest part about that, Mathis, will be? Is finding only 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, believe me, I know that drill.
The best of the best of the best.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you know, that huge 22-minute video watch, like I said, I've got a 3-minute version of that. And then the Philippines one that we showed, I think it's 3 minutes too. So it's really, as you all know, very hard to do.
Well, yeah, it is. You know, you sort of look for small subjects and kind of limit yourself to a theme that you have and go with that. I thought that your first song in your Philippines 2018 Philippines, I thought was excellent. I loved all the big fish schools. I would kill to get some stuff like you had.
Where in the Philippines were you?
Cebu, Mobile.
Yeah.
That was
all those fish were okay. We stayed in Dumaguete.
For the first week.
Atlantis dive resort. They have 2 resorts. One's Dumaguete and the other one is
the other one.
Porto Galera.
Yeah.
Porto Galera.
There you go. And so we were not at that one. And that big school of fish was Verde Island, which is the island you can see directly across.
Yeah, that's Porto Galera. Yeah.
That's
Verde Island is like a 30-40 minute boat ride across from Porto Galera. Although you can get there from Anilao as well.
The other ones were the sardines.
Yeah, the sardines were I can't remember the names of all the islands, but it was all well. So we did 1 week at the resort that we were just, you know, the Dumaguete, and then we did 1 week on the Azores liveaboard.
Okay.
And that 3-minute video is from that, you know, that trip. 2 weeks total.
Yeah, that's how I found Catalao, basically, Craig, on that Azores liveaboard. And there's a little island they go to. I can't remember the name of it. It's unbelievable. It's just little.
Balikasag.
Yes.
Balikasag.
Balikasag. I haven't been there. I couldn't get them to take me there the last time we were there. They said, "Oh, it's too far, you know, too much trouble. You have to book the time, you know. And besides, it's the same water we got here, so you know."
But Atlantis Azores goes by there and does it. Yes, it does.
But they don't let many people go to Balikasag. We did get to look at it. We went to a little spot on the point, trying to get out of off of Big Island, but we never got out there under the water. It's, yeah.
Yeah, that live aboard that Azores, I really enjoyed that trip.
Mm-hmm. We did too. That was another Giggling Marlin trip, and we had a really great group, and it was great diving. The people that were at the land-based resort were just so amazing, friendly. I mean, same with Wakatobi. They all knew us by name. If people would say our name, and I'd turn around like surprised, and it's like, how do you know my name? You know, and I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
They taped it on the back of your shirt. You just said,
yeah, I think you're right.
It's on your fins.
Yeah.
I think that Tom and I had a very memorable night dive on the Atlantis Azores. We call it the slime dive. When we came up after the dive, we came up through about 2 inches of worms on the surface.
Ooh.
Oh.
Do you find one in your ear the next day?
In your ear. I've gotten in my ears before. Ugh.
Yeah, that's not good.
They had all the lights on the back of the boat running, and they just slimed us.
Well, just think how many worms you're going to collect with all those 15 million watts of light underwater.
All right, folks, what do you think? It's 9:15. It's about past my bedtime.
Yeah, mine too.
We did it.
Really enjoyed it, Mathis. Really enjoyed it. It was great.
That was really good, Mathis.
Loved it.
Thank
Very
you,
good
guys.
time.
Appreciate it.
Loved every minute of it. Thank you.
Excellent video. Excellent video.
Thanks for having me, everyone.
Sure, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Mark. All right, we'll be in touch. Mathis, I need your mailing address, please. I got something for you to send to you.
Okay, I'll email it to you.
Good night, everyone.
All right, happy holidays, everybody.
Bye.
Happy holidays. See everybody later.
See you later.